Today we don't have a moderator, so I have the power. Well, I always have the power. Muy bien. Veo que están uniendo. A ver, ¿alguien tiene alguna duda? Dos personas, una era Gladys, me acuerdo, y creo que Irma era la otra persona que me dijo que tenían dudas sobre las contracciones. ¿Están por acá? Bueno, mejor reviso. ¿O alguien tiene alguna otra duda? No están... Bueno, no importa. Ya se conectan, me dirán. Bien, I'm going to start today's class with something different. I want you to tell me how are you doing? Well, I could catch a little bit what Sandra said, so I suppose that you are hanging up in there. But the rest of you, how are you doing? What's up with your life lately? It's a general question, Sandra. If you want to answer, you want to go deeper into what you were
Teacher,
saying.
sorry, did you ask to me or you ask everyone that how
No,
are they doing?
everyone. Obviously, you are more than welcome to answer,
No.
but it's just a general question. La pregunta es, vamos a hablar vamos a hacer un poco diferente la clase. Quiero que me cuenten cómo están. Yo estoy muy cansado, entonces. Sí. Lucía, go ahead, please.
Hi, teacher. Good night, everybody. I feel I I am sorry. I feel good, and but in this place is very hot because it's I don't know what to say, but
Climate.
climate is very hot, and sometimes it's raining, but today is very hot.
No sé por qué dije climate, si es weather. O sea, las dos funcionan, pero es más común decir weather.
But
Estaba pensando en cambio climático, por eso dije climate. Pero sí,
but
weather. Weather is bad. Where are you? Where do you live, Lucia?
in Cancun,
No, man. No. I cannot imagine the heat that you are
yeah,
experiencing these days. I went I was there in last December, and it was winter and it was so hot. But well, here in Puebla, the weather is horrible. It's too hot in the morning. If it rains, it's going to be fresh a little while, but during nights it could be cold. So it's pretty easy for people here to get sick. So I'm hanging there, not getting sick because I have a couple of dates with my band, and I don't want to be sick if I have to sing because that's horrible. Yeah, it's pretty difficult. And today I walked a lot under the sun, so I feel like yeah I want to go to bed. So I'm pretty tired, but in general, well, that's the weather. But how are you doing in general? Are you okay?
yeah, I'm okay. Today I feel a little work, and I doing my things in my house. And I don't know what you say, clean my house and doing. I cooking. I cook, cook or cooking.
I
I
cooked.
I
Well,
cook.
I did the cooking, pero es mejor I cooked.
I cook, and that's it. Yeah, simple. My life is
Very
simple.
good. Excellent. So everything's fine. Very good. Thank you, Lucia. Who else? A ver. Sara, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. And you? I'm in the conversation class, English conversation class. And you? How are you?
How am I doing? I'm tired. I just want to drink like 2 liters of water, and well, I have the fan on right now, so it's fresh. But yeah, but I still have a band practice, so the day is not nearly over, so I have to hang on. But I took my dad to the doctor earlier today. He was feeling sick. He had a stomach ache,
I'm
and
sorry.
I saw that he was like was not looking great. So I was like, okay, I'm taking you to the doctor, and that's it. But I have to wait like 2 hours because the doctor was in surgery, and it was. And I have my dog right now because people are working in my house. They're doing some renovations, and I cannot leave my dog because she is not very kind to strangers in her house. So it was very complicated because I had to leave my dad in the hospital. He was doing fine, but I had to leave him, and I had to take my dog to a 2 hour walk. So that's why it's up to you today. The class is on your shoulders.
Oh, I understand. Sorry, I hope you better soon.
Yeah, he's doing fine. It's only a mild infection, but
Okay.
he just have to take antibiotics. Not that because it's viral, so it's
Mhm.
going to heal by itself. But you know, when it comes to the parents, especially when they are getting older, it's easy to worry a lot. So and well, probably I don't have to say this for anyone who has experienced the situation, but it's when you lost one parent is difficult. So you kind of become paranoid with everything that happened to the other. So and it's obviously a lot of stress. But that's not. I say that this class isn't you. You tell me how are you doing, not me. But very good. Sarah, anything that you want to add?
No, no, it's okay.
Very good. Excellent, Sarah. Thank you. Who else? Lucía, Sara, ya participaron. Luz, you're not going away today. I saw you there. How are you doing?
Hi, teacher. Hi, everybody. Good night. I'm very well. Right now I am doing hotcakes to have little dinner with my husband. So this day was I was listening that you have a hard day. I'm so sorry. I hope that you have better day tomorrow, teacher, and you father it's well tomorrow. I hope.
Yeah, the only thing the doctor said is that he needs to take a lot of fluids. So until now, he's doing great. He's working. He works right next door, so he's doing fine. But like I told you, it's easy to worry. You're making pancakes. You
Yes,
said doing right.
yeah,
Making. Yeah, you make
making.
pancakes, and I'm very jealous right now
Thank you.
because I
I
love
want to put
pancakes.
just a little bit Nutella, how to say mermelada? Mer
Jam.
Jam.
Well,
Exactly.
jam or jelly. You can go both. And probably Sandra and Rafael. Uh, uh, Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the jelly is the most common word for mermelada. Jam is not that common.
Jelly, but jelly is not gelatina.
Could be, but the thing is, for example, ya iba a decir por example, the when you made peanut butter and jelly sandwich, PB and J. So they call it marmalade. I actually you can also say marmalade. I don't remember if it's marmalade. But I would go with jelly. Like I told you, Sandra and Rafael could say the word because jam is more British. I think jelly is more common. But my favorite thing is just hot cakes and maple syrup. I love that thing. But I just realized that the most famous brands that you can get here in Mexico are just sugar. The real maple syrup is very, very expensive and not that easy to find here in Mexico. So I was very disappointed. that I have been deceived for all these years.
Actually, my mom, that is the problem. One of the things is that she won a lot of um, that one that you say. Sorry, I forgot. And he buy how to say cubeta,
Bucket.
a bucket. That's right. She buy a bucket, and he all the friends, like 5 friends, we buy of that bucket, and it's expensive but not too much. But that bucket is maybe from Oaxaca. They need to buy for other stores there and bring to Mexico City and blah 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 blah. So yeah, that's right. It's so difficult to have.
And being honest, I don't know if you can produce maple syrup somewhere else in Canada. I don't know. Or maybe the northern part of the US. Because I think maple trees need to be in a very cold weather, but I'm not sure. Just a guess here. Very good. Thank you, Luz. De los nuevos, veo algunos nombres, pero no los oigo. Sí, a ver, la pregunta es muy sencilla. ¿Cómo están hoy? José, Gabriel, Editza, Randy, Raúl también, no es de los nuevos, pero... Noé, tú seguías en la lista, yo no iba a decir nada, pero...
Hi, teacher. Good afternoon. It's still with the sun, so I don't know. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm working. I'm still working, so I'm not able to turn on my camera. But I'm really good, thank you. As usual, it's the beginning of the month, so I'm excited because I want to travel this month. So, well, just waiting for the trips, you know. And what else? Well, that's it.
Where are you planning to go?
Well, I wanna go a lot of places, but the next Saturday I'm going to go to to Hidalgo, to I don't know how to say that, balneario.
Water
Balneario
park.
water park.
Yeah.
Okay. Water park in Hidalgo, because I want to go out, and of course I would love to go to uh, this kind of activity, rappel. I don't know how to say that. Rappel is the same. Okay.
It's English, actually.
Okay. Rappel in Sótano de Popocat. Do you know what is that?
I've heard about that, but being honest, Rappel and me are not... No. I'm afraid of heights, so you're that.
It's interesting. That is, yes, it's an activity, extreme activity. Yeah, no, is that correct? Extreme activity. Yeah. So yeah, I would love to do that. And this month is the last month that it can do. It can do it.
That you can do it.
That I can do it, because it's the rainy weather rainy, this time
Rain
to the
season.
rain se-
Rain season. Yes.
rain season. Thank you. It's the rain season, so it's a waterfall in that sótano, in the sótano of Popocat. So yeah, it's going to full of water. So this month is the last month. So I want to go to do that. So I'm excited for that.
That sounds interesting, exciting, actually. But I've never done that. Even that, how do you say this? It's not rappel, it's like this wall climbing thing that you can do, but in a closed space. That you have like these stones screwed into a wall.
Oh,
Rock climbing.
But it has another name, hasn't it? I'm not sure. So I'm just wondering because I'm I heard a different name for that because there's a lot of it's rock climbing actually, but I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. But yeah, I've seen that. In the past, I was very interested in camping. I had a husky, and I remember I went camp. We went camping a lot of times to natural places. Obviously, not like parks or things like that. But it has become more and more insecure. It's pretty dangerous going by yourself these days. And I remember that once I went camping to this hill. It's called El Perico, El Cerro del Perico, actually. And I remember that I was looking for a spot to put up the tent, and I saw that the hill has like this cutaway, and I was like, oh, this is so fresh. I'm going to camp here, and it was not a cave, just like a gap, and I said, "This is amazing. It's going to be fresh. And I don't have to bother for the wind to turn out my fire, and the sun is not going to hit directly." And I was like, "Okay, nice." And I remember I put up the tent, put up the fire. Everything was great, and I started walking, and there was like these plates of rocks, and I started seeing a lot of crosses in the ground. And I was like, is this like a graveyard or what's this thing? And it was a wall for rappel. And there was a lot of crosses of people who died doing that. And I was like, okay. But trust me, there were like at least 20. And was this it has to be a very complicated wall to climb. And I went back to my campsite, and it was very nice camping with that dog because she was very obedient. She didn't went away like a lot of times. But I remember when it was when the sun started going down with the sunset, and I was next to the fire and started listening to a very weird sound. I have never heard that sound before, like a chirp thing. And suddenly, thousands of little bats came out from that gap I was where I was, and I was like, "Oh, damn it!" And I rushed into the tent, and I could hear all of them. And just wow, I came out, cooked my meal, and things like that, and I went to sleep. Not a lot of things to do alone in the in the forest. And I remember just before sunset, no, just before dawn, I heard them coming back, thousands, and they pooped in my tent. So I was like, okay, this is not something that I want to repeat. But yeah, you should try doing that. No? If you like it and you have the physical condition, go ahead. Probably you're going to have a good time, but be safe. That's number one thing. Be safe because a lot of places here in Mexico don't have like the minimum regulations to do kind things like that. That's why I have never jumped again from a bungee rope. I did it twice, and I think that's. Sarah, what are you saying? Already at dusk, Nevada de Colima is also great, but you should take it easy if you are not in good condition. Yeah, obviously, all that those extreme activities have to be treated with respect. Don't be sorry, no, don't worry. Very good. Who else? Randy says that he is. Oh, Sandra, you have a request on the chat. Uh, 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 uh. It's dangerous.
Or you have a request?
No, you, Sandra, have a request.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I have two dogs, but this one is the one that he never leaves my side. He's very intense. He's the boss in this house. His name is Coco.
Is she or he?
He is Coco, and I have another baby girl that her name is Pepper. And this little one is crazy. Oh my goodness. This little guy, sometimes he just talk to you. When he wants things, he could be the most intensive animal in this world. When he needs to go outside or when he wants to play, he make himself, he's sure that, how I can say, uh, he just bark and he take his toy with his mouth and he put it in front of you and he bark to you like play with me, and he's so intense, but I love them. Oh, my baby, he's here. I have a special chair for him here, and he loves to watch outside the street. Thank you for asking.
How old is he?
They are almost 2 years in August. They are just 6 days apart. One is a Yorkie and the other is a miniature mini schnauzer.
Why do you put the name of Coco?
I always say if I have a dog, I will call him Coco. That was my name, and my husband pretty much is like Coco is mine and Pepper is my husband's baby. It's
Do you have a cat too?
It's not for the movie Coco. It's since always I wanted Coco as a dog.
But do you have a cat too, Sandra?
No. The thing is that 2 days ago I was walking my dogs on the street, and the day before was a big torment, and looks like a family throw on the grass a kittens, like maybe 6 or 5, I don't know, be honest, but I found like something like yeah, and I just saw one of them like on the street, and I was not sure that if they were like rabbits, because I live in an area where we have a lot of rabbits, wild rabbits, or maybe a rat. But when I got close, I find out there was a little kitten, and then I was checking to see there were others alive, and I found one more that was alive, and I was just so crying because it was so sad to see that, and I took 2 of them with me, and I just take care of them all day long. And yesterday I took them back to a shelter because I cannot have 2 cats with me right now. It was so sad. It made me cry.
Sandra, you said that you saw people leaving the kittens.
No, but it looks because they were like maybe 9 days old. And who can do that? I don't think so. That was the mom. I think that maybe somebody just they throw those little kittens in the grass because it was an empty house that is for sale, and they were on the grass. And the night before it was just horrible. It was lighting. It wasn't a strong torment, and I think that they just throw them there just because they want that they die. I don't see other reason that they were there.
Yeah, I cannot understand, even if I try hard, why people would do something like that. I don't know, but it's a torment. Would be a storm. Torment. Torment is like tormento.
Tormento. Okay, storm. Storm. Thank you, teacher, for
no, it's okay.
I mean, no, it's good one. Thank you. And you know what the sad part? Because I called the shelter and I told them the situation, and they say just bring them here, and I just wondering why they didn't die, why they threw those babies like that, just to let them to die. It was so sad. Sorry, I don't want to make nobody sad, but
No, it's okay. Those are things that happen all the time, but I cannot. Um, I don't know. I'm very close to animals, and I cannot see any animal suffering. It doesn't, even animals I'm afraid of. For example, I don't like cockroaches at all, but I don't kill them. I know if I find them in my house, it's going to take me a lot of strength to catch them and take them out. For example, I I'm still am, but I'm very afraid of spiders. I don't like them. I know they're a huge part of the ecosystem, but I'm afraid of them. But lately, if I found anyone that it's not near my dog or something that could be dangerous, I take them and put them outside. It takes a lot of guts, I would say, because I'm so afraid of them. But if I'm doing this with an animal that I'm terrified of, I could never be like I found puppies or kittens or any um, small baby animal, I would say, and leave it like them, like that. It's not natural to me. So I know that it could be sad, especially if not all of the puppies of the kittens survive, especially with with kittens here in Mexico. It's pretty common to find them wandering on the street because they are, well, it's pretty easy for cats getting pregnant and people saying no, I don't want to take care of them, and it's like, dude, so fix the cat so she cannot have kittens. It's not that expensive. There's a lot of groups that do that for a very significant amount of money. So it's not that difficult. When I had cats before getting so allergic to them, I remember that um, uh, my mom never wanted the cat to go outside and wander. It's like, take care of your animals. You're responsible for them. And feral cats are a big problem. I know that. Gladys, the animal that scares me, spiders. I have a I have fear of three things: heights, depths, and spiders. And we are having
So what
practice
is the second one? Heights, spiders, and what else?
depths. I'm going to write, and you're going to understand what I'm saying. Depths. I have something, and this is proven. I have something called thalassophobia. We have thalassophobia. Do you know what that is? Anyone know?
No, I don't.
I'm afraid of the darkness of the sea or lakes, any water building that you can imagine. That darkness, I'm so afraid of it.
Okay. I got it.
Probably in my past life I was like a sailor or something because I had nightmares of horrible ways of dying in the sea, like drowning. And I have this recurrent dream of me dying on a wooden ship, like 16th, 17th century, something like that. I don't know if it's a projection or maybe I'm just a huge pirate fan, so I watch a lot of movies. But I have this recurrent dream. Flies, Gladys. You prefer spiders from flies? I don't like flies because they're too obnoxious, but I don't prefer spiders. 3 weeks ago, I went to a cabin in the woods. It was the birthday of a friend, a friend's birthday, sorry. And she wanted to be in touch with nature, and she rented this cabin, and everyone, oh yeah, let's go there. Man, though the spiders I found were huge. I'm not joking. Like size of my hand. And I was like, I cannot sleep in here. I need a shotgun. A couple of guys that were there too slept on the car. They said, "There's no way we're going to sleep in these beds." I prefer flies, rats. Enrique, I have a lot of stories with mice and rats. I captured them so I can release them. My mom always hated that because she said like you're crazy. But no, but have you seen these traps like the glue kind of traps that trap the rat, mice, any animal, and they're it's so sticky and they cannot move and eventually they died. Or if you find the mice just stuck and alive, you have to squash them. It's like damn, it's so cruel doing that. I would never do that. Good morning. No, it would be like good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are. Yeah, but again, bien. Voy a revisar un poco el español porque creo que ya lo primero que les digo que yo no quiero hablar, me presionan para hablar porque ustedes no quieren hablar. Bien, Scorpion tongues. ¿Qué quieres decir con tongues, Sara? ¿Tenazas?
Yes, sorry, I have a problem with my audio. Yes, tenazas.
Sí, de hecho,
And quería decir alacrán. What's the same, Scorpion?
Scorpion.
Okay.
Sí, pero es que no, se me olvidó la palabra de tongues, tenazas, sí.
Pero en arañas, with the spiders.
Sorry, what?
O sea, las arañas que vio del tamaño de una mano tenían tenazas de alacrán. Eso es lo que me quiero.
No. I know that that kind of insect you're talking. No, but they were spiders, really spiders, and very big. I told you I need a shotgun to feel safe. Yes, but no, there were spiders. I'm currently playing in two bands, and the place we are rehearsing with one of them, it's common for us to find scorpions. So my guitar bag is always closed, and I put my hoodie inside the gig bag so I don't take any uninvited guests home. So yes, Fernando. Actually, I've been reading about that. Ticks, like garrapatas, could be way more dangerous than a snake. They transmit this Lyme disease, and I've been reading about the symptoms and the consequence of getting this disease, and they're horrible. You're going to be with those symptoms for life, so you have to be very careful. I don't like. That's why I'm not a very outdoor person anymore. Muy bien. Bueno, ya I'm sorry, I'm late. I came from the street. What you are doing? Beto, estamos hablando solo les pregunté cómo estaban y algunos me han respondido. No.
Ok, gracias, ya entendí, profe.
Do you want to go ahead with that question? How are you doing? Anything you want to share? Oh, yes. La pregunta es cómo están, así en general. Pueden responder lo que sea. Si no, vamos a pasar a la siguiente actividad. ¿Quieren hacerla en grupos o aquí? A ver si se animan a hablar. Me van a preguntar cuál es la actividad, pero no les voy a decir hasta que me respondan.
Teacher, aquí.
Okay. Talking about this, obviously, is snapped the topic of phobias. So I want you to share your phobias with me, with us, actually. ¿Cuáles son sus fobias? Ya les dije las mías. Oh, Sara, yo veo eso y probablemente van a necesitar un defibrilador. Rafael,
My phobia is similar to yours. I can't stand the dark, and I'm afraid of it. I don't mind the ocean a whole lot, but in the evening at night I gotta have light. Like I don't like walking where I can't see where I'm going and what's around me. I think the uncertainty of not knowing my surroundings, it makes me uncomfortable. So I hate the dark.
can you sleep with any lights on?
Oh, I sleep in the dark. I don't have a problem with that. It's just that when I go any place and it's dark and I can't see, that bothers me.
Yeah, it's a pretty common fear. Yeah, I'm not afraid of the dark, but I don't know if you can relate to this. I can feel very uneasy when it's pitch black darkness. Like there's no, like in enclosed spaces. Sorry, that kind of darkness can make me feel very uneasy.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I'm not an outdoor person either. I mean, I like really hot showers, so I can't be out camping. I like going to the beach and I enjoy, the rivers and lakes and all that, but the water's got to be somewhat warm, otherwise I can't do it. I live here by the beach in California. Our place there is like maybe I don't know, 100 feet from the water, so you can just walk down the beach and enjoy the ocean. But it's the water here in California in South Orange County is just too cold. Even during the summer, like if I go for a run, I would have to run for a good 30, 40 minutes before I can actually get in the water, just because it's pretty cold. I mean, you get used to it. A lot of people that are locals, they're in the water even in December, but for me it's just not what I like in the ocean. I like warmer water, and it's just one of those things.
I don't like this feeling of the sand between my toes. I know, Sandra. I'm going to confess something very, very shameful. I enter the sea with water shoes. I know, I know, I'm not proud of this, but I don't care. I hate feeling something in my feet. Like, have you seen these? They're not well, kind of starfish. I don't know how they call that in the U.S. Like dollar. They're like starfish but round. I stepped on one a long time ago, and I was so traumatized. I said I would never step on something like this again. And if I'm in the sea and I feel something crawling between my toes, it's like, no, hell no, I'm going out. Yes, I don't like. Sorry. Very good, excellent, Miguel. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, teacher. Good evening. I think I fear with the high altitude. I remember I traveled to Acapulco and I jumped in on a bungee, and the adrenaline is for me is very high. I don't know, and I don't think in that moment, but actually I don't know to do it again. I don't know. No, I think to try to do that action. I don't. I remember the moment that is scaring me.
I think that I did that twice, and I agree with you that I was. Now I look back and say what I was thinking, and I'm also afraid of heights. So, but last December I went to these adventure parks in Cancun and Playa del Carmen. Explorer is one of them, and I remember saying, "Okay, I'm afraid of heights, but I have to do these zip line courses." And I was so afraid. I could never completely get rid of fear when I was doing that. But I was like, okay, what the hell? I'm here. I'm already here, so I have to try this. Same thing when I go to Six Flags or any theme park like that. I'm like, man, I paid. I'm here. I'm gonna do it. But then I watched this movie, Final Destination, so I am aware of the
Yeah.
anyone above 35 years old are very aware of the consequences you can have on these roller coasters. But what the hell? Yeah, you need some adrenaline in your life. But I can totally relate to that kind of fear. Very good. Thank you, Miguel. Uh, Lucia, I saw you.
Okay. Okay. I don't know it's a phobia, but it's the same. The Miguel. Miguel say that the phobia is the highness, las alturas,
Heights.
heights. Okay. But I don't know it's a phobia because only happening with I stay in the building and the building only solo me pasa, only happen.
It only happens to
It
me.
only happened to me with I stay of a building. But when I uh, go to the airplane or flight, I'm sorry, flight, I don't have this uh, scare. Only happen with the stay in the place. Ay, no sé cómo decirlo. I am sorry.
¿Qué palabra de la que no sabes?
Solo me pasa cuando estoy en un lugar alto. Pero,
It only happens to me when I am in a high place.
okay.
Te lo
Only
escribo.
okay, thank you.
It only happens. Muy bien, excelente, Lucía. Gracias. Gladys, adelante.
Thanks, teacher. My phobia is claustrophobia and the crowded places. Maybe when I go to the mall, there are a lot of people that confuse me and I don't like it.
Yeah. Do you have this feeling that you cannot breathe?
No. Mm, I feel that I'm confused and
Okay.
I don't know why it is maybe energy. I
Mhm.
don't know how explaining. I don't know.
Yes, I understand. I can feel very uneasy in crowded places. That's why I'm very selective about going to concerts because I don't feel fine when I'm in crowded places where I cannot move freely. I think it's some form of claustrophobia too. And yes, these small enclosed spaces terrifies me. Well, the idea at least. Very good. Thank you, Gladys. Excellent. Déjenme ver. Crowded praise. Okay. Yes, Vieto, I play some video games. My favorite has to be Call of Duty, and I really like Ghost of Tsushima and Days Gone. Those kind of games. I try to play twice or three times a week when I have the time. And my phobia would be possibly drowning. Yes, drowning. It's the same thing with thalassophobia, and it's yes, it's the same thing, or is part of that fear. Snakes, Marcela. Bueno, estoy leyendo lo que pone en el chat. Obviamente me gustaría más que lo leyeran, pero si no quieren, yo lo puedo leer sin problema. A veces no pueden participar hablando, pero me gusta que participen al menos escribiendo en el chat. My phobia are snakes. Porque estás hablando en plural, Marcela. Are snakes. I have a very rapid heart rate. Acá puedes decir my heart rate increases. Mi ritmo cardíaco aumenta. As a child, I went to bath in an irrigation canal. Oh man, no. And I happened to see a snake next to me. That's probably where my phobia comes from. Sí, very probable, Maricela. Those kind of encounters are pretty traumatic. Rafael tuvo que irse bien. My biggest fear is not having a home. Not to have. Acá puedes decir not to have a home, Fernando, or not having a home. O también puedes decirlo, my biggest fear is being homeless or to become homeless. I have lived. Eso te lo corrijo porque está bien tu idea, pero la conjugación. I have lived many things in my life. But the worst was that night where I was sleeping in the street. Así sería la forma correcta. Muy bien. ¿Alguien más? Fear, exacto. Puede ser fear of being homeless. Les voy a dar varias opciones. Fear of becoming homeless. Son las que yo usaría, pero también pueden decir fear of not having a place to live. Obviamente cuando dicen homeless engloba not having a place to live. Esas son las tres que yo usaría. ¿Quién más? Luz, Sara. ¿Quién más? Obviamente Sandra, Noé. Sandra.
Teacher, I have a lot of fear about heights as well as you. Like for me, it's horrible. I have a lot of fear but it's more like disgusting feeling or sensation about cockroaches. Oh, that's hard for me to pronounce that word. And the snakes, I feel a lot, kind of the same feeling for that. I have a lot of respect for the ocean. I enjoy it, but just like very close to the beach, and I feel a lot of respect for water. But my biggest fear is like loneliness. Like, for example, I can be alone during the day, but at night I can like just to be alone. No, that's not me. And my other fear is obviously like to get old and to be alone. That's something that I feel a lot afraid, and especially because I, for example, I used to have a coworker that she was very lonely person and she was divorced. We knew that she suffered some kind of depression, and one day she didn't show up. 2 days she didn't show up, and my supervisor had to call the police, and when they went over her house, they found her dead at their house by her own. And for me, that's so sad, and that's something that scares me always. Like, God, please, not to die like that, like in that kind of loneliness. Thank you.
It's a very common fear in the third world. Actually, it's a pretty common thing in Japan. This kind of death, especially for older people. A lot of them live alone, especially because most of them kids moved to bigger cities. People who live in more in furthest sections of the country, and it's sad because it could pass months before someone realized that they are dead, especially because Japan and some countries in Europe, because this happens also in Europe, some countries actually, um, they tend to live very lonely lives, some by choice and some because that's what they have. But it's curious when you don't have no one to check on you, right? That's what I always, at least I don't have kids, but I try to have a lot of friends that if I disappear for a couple of days, they're going to notice, and they're going to at least ask someone if I'm still alive. it's it's interesting if you take a look, for example, Sandra. Now that you're talking about this fear, do you post constantly on social media?
Not much. No, no, not much. Just like I think that before when Facebook was new, you had that thing that you were posting a lot of things, but not anymore. I just a few things, and especially like now, like for example, when my grandbaby was born, I post something every month. Now that she's going to turn 2 years, maybe something, but not really. No, not much.
Yeah, I don't post that much, but lately I've been drawing a lot, so I'm posting my drawings, and some people are aware of my presence, at least online. And it come to a point where some of them ask me why didn't I post on a specific date. And I was like, I was busy or something like that. But it's it's interesting how this online interaction could somehow replace this face-to-face interaction in terms of, okay, why are you absent? Well, I think that this applies to family that live far away. You are aware of them, maybe because of their posts, or I don't know, because if you're not there, it's not that easy to keep on track on what they are doing. But well, okay, Noé, you have to be the last one because no one else.
Okay. So I don't want to sound. Ah, I don't know how to say that. Well, I think
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Oh, well, to sound what? What's the word in Spanish?
Como I don't know even in Spanish because I think that I don't have phobias. Because
I don't want to sound cocky.
cocky.
Cocky. Viene de gallo,
Okay,
así como el gallo muy valiente. Es una forma de decirlo. I don't want to sound too cocky.
too cocky. Okay, okay. I don't want to sound too cocky. Yeah, because I have tried a lot of things. And no, I don't have any phobias. That scares obviously, but no, it's like a phobia. I can do that. For example, the rappel. I have tried skydiving. That is cool. I don't have fear about darkness. The snakes, spiders. No, my teacher once asked me about that, and I have thinking about it, but no, I don't know. Yeah.
You don't know yet.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, trust
possibility.
me, trust me. I have been always conscious about my fear of spiders and heights, but it's until have the experience that you are aware of that. I remember where my fear of spiders started, but I don't know why I'm so afraid of heights. I can manage, but I have this feeling in my stomach every time I'm in a high place, especially if I can see like the bottom. If you're in a tall building, if you can look all the way down, that I can I feel that thing in the stomach. But yeah, maybe you're not afraid of heights, but I don't know, phobias. The definition of phobia is that there's not a rational explanation of why are you so afraid. So the thing is that it happens, and suddenly it can explode. That's the bad thing because you cannot control that. Some people are one example of phobias that cannot be controlled that is agoraphobia, the fear of open spaces. Um, if you go out to a big city and you have this experience of feeling the all the sounds, the immensity of buildings, you can feel overwhelmed, and some people have panic attacks. That's something that the phobias are characterized for, having these panic attacks. Sometimes we're only afraid that, but somehow we manage to control that. Phobias cannot be controlled. So that's why I'm very careful of this, because a lot of people, these days a lot of people are so eager to get a self-diagnose of mental diseases or conditions. Oh yeah, I have this, I have I have that. But yeah, phobias are characterized because of that panic or anxiety attacks. But in that case, like I told you, all this explanation for telling you that you have not figured out yet if you're afraid of something. And I really hope that you're not, especially if you like doing that extreme activities. But let's keep that way.
Yeah, I love doing that kind of activity. So maybe one day I find a phobia. Well, I hope no.
That now that you mentioned that, I remember this guy. He was not exactly a friend, but he was an acquaintance, and he was a nice guy. But I remember he used to do these rally races, like dirt races with cars, and he was like this adrenaline junkie kind of person. And at first glance, you can say that he was not afraid of nothing. But once, and I was with him, besides some other people, but I remember that a friend of us cut his finger like while preparing lunch. It was not a very deep cut, but it bled copiously. And suddenly, this guy who was adrenaline junkie and drive fast cars and all of that, I turned and I look at his face, and he was pale as a ghost. It happens that he didn't know that he was so afraid of blood. Because I remember, this is kind of funny when I tell this now, but my friend was like, "Oh crap, I cut myself," and the blood began to drip like that, and that's when I like when you move a chair fast backwards, and I turn and I see this guy pale as a ghost and this close to faint. He was afraid of blood, and he didn't know until that moment that he was so afraid of blood. I worked in a forensic unit, so I've seen a lot of things. So I'm not afraid of blood. I'm not afraid of corpses. I'm not afraid of death at some degree. But don't put me in front of a spider. Put me in front of a tiger, and I can do it better than a spider. But very good.
Teacher, disculpe, me retiro porque tenemos la clase de psicología a esta hora.
Sí, de hecho, vamos a dejarlo hasta
Para
acá. Vamos a dejarlo hasta acá. Que tengan excelente noche. Cuídense mucho. Ya no me quiero extender porque siempre me pasa. Descansen, junten sus dudas, anímense a hablar. Nos vemos el próximo martes. Que estén muy bien. Cuídense.
Excellent class, teacher.
Muchas
Thank you.
Nada.